What is up, everybody? So if you haven't followed me for a little bit, you gotta know that I love Reddit. I literally worship it. It's probably like one of my 10 commandments is Reddit. And some of my subreddits that I follow are really stupid, but one of the main ones I follow is the Apple subreddit. And I was scrolling through and I actually saw this title, okay? This guy posts, free iPhone 10 replacement thanks to iOS 12. And I was like, whoa, this is a juicy title. I don't know if it was clickbait or not or whatever. How can you clickbait on Reddit, right? So I clicked on it. I read the story, and first of all, I want to say shout out to user Axod, whoever posted this. Give them the credit, okay, whatever they posted the story. I don't want to hate on this specific story. I don't think it's false, okay? I don't think it's not real, okay? I really think this could have possibly happened, but I don't think it could happen to everybody, and it kind of affects me a little bit too, because if you guys don't remember, I bought a used iPhone 10 not too long ago, and before I bought my daily driver, and it had a screen issue, and I went into the Apple store to try to fix it, and they said pretty much you cannot fix it because it was water damaged, and I understand like at that time, but the iPhone 10 is water resistant, but on top of that, the problem that occurred wasn't because of the water damage, so I was really mad about it or whatever, and I made that video, and if you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend watching that, and I don't remember if that came out during iOS 12 or whatever. But what this guy pretty much says, right, is that his iPhone was damaged. It wasn't necessarily damaged through iOS 12, but he did have the betas installed on them. And so pretty much what he did was he went to the Apple store, and I guess he came in late and he had to wait like 20 minutes or something. And then pretty much what happened was he gave the phone to the specialists, and they try to calibrate the machine, or they try to run it through the diagnostic test. And so what happened was, because it was running iOS 12, their specific software incompatibility issue, their specific thing that they used wasn't really working on iOS 12. So really what happened was, because of that incompatibility, this person literally got a free iPhone 10. Now technically it wasn't necessarily free because he had to buy the iPhone 10 first. He bought it whenever ago, but then he pretty much got a replacement, which is what his title says. And I think this is pretty crazy, because for him to have a specific beta software on a device, I think that specific technician might have had a problem doing it for some reason. I have no idea, because think about it like this. iOS 12 is about to come out in like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. So when that comes out, is all of a sudden like everyone's device is not going to be able to be eligible to be able to calibrate it on the machines at the Apple store. Now necessarily that's not true, but Apple should have something in place at this point, right? And I'm not hating on this guy. I mean, if Apple wants to give him a free device, go for it. I am kind of jealous a little bit, because when I took my iPhone 10 that also had a screen problem, it wasn't the specific one, mine was a green line, but literally like 2 months ago I went to get it fixed and it didn't work, and they didn't accept it. It really made me upset. But one of the more interesting factors about this specific story is that when you sign up for a beta on iOS 12 whatever, you pretty much give up your right of having repairs done outside of that specific warranty. I think it falls under Apple Care replacement warranties as well. Now if you have like an iPhone 8 or something, like that Logic Board program's coming out, I think then it will fix it and they'll be able to do whatever. But in most cases, what they do is they downgrade the devices. So if it's on iOS 12, the iPhone 10 to iOS 11 to a version that works, and then they run it through the calibration test. And from reading a little bit further into this, that's what I found out. But why in this specific case did this person get a free iPhone 10? And I'll tell you right now, the specific technician that this person had really didn't want to go through it. They didn't want to go through the trouble of having to go and downgrade it and go through this and to run another calibration test. They figured they would just bite the costs and just give them a free replacement. And I think ultimately they might have just done that because they would have to physically repair the screen and all that stuff. Alright, I gotta pause the video for a second. What I just said was kind of like rude. I'm not saying the technician was lazy or anything like that. What I am saying is that it could be a possibility, and I explained further in the video that the technician probably had so much stuff to do and so many clients to take care of and so many customers that were there that maybe it wouldn't have been super beneficial for them to go and like spend extra time to fix a specific problem that didn't really need like, immediate, like it's not like they lost their data or anything like that. They just kind of had to switch phones or fix a screen. It wasn't like anything crazy. So I'm not saying like the technicians were lazy. I love Apple technicians. I love Apple employees, but I just kind of want to get that out of the way. Like I said, I would recommend reading this story fully. You guys can read it while it's up here. And of course, go to Reddit and upvote this if you guys enjoy it or downvote it or whatever. But I would upvote it. It's a pretty good story. And some factors that make me think that the technician didn't want to do it. And it's not because that technician was like lazy or was a novice or anything like that. If you factor in all these things, this person set up a Genius Power Point at 3:30. It was very busy from what the person said. The technician was 20 minutes late. Okay. And this person said it's no big deal, but that just goes to show like this person has like a lot of things to do, and maybe downgrading that software will ultimately lead to having more people wait. So it might have just been more beneficial to just not downgrade the device, not even calibrate it or run through the diagnostics machine, and then ultimately go give them the new device and then repair the screen later and probably sell it on a certified refurbished or whatever. And I can tell you from my experience, when I brought in my other used iPhone 10 that also had this screen problem, the person was down to fix it and they were going to fix it for free up until they found out it was water damaged. And I didn't know about the water damage either because I thought the phones were waterproof, but these phones are only water resistant. So, all right, I gotta pause the video one more time. I'm not necessarily saying that I should have gotten the same treatment as this person because my phone was water resistant, and I totally understand that. But what I am saying is that if my phone was running iOS 12 when I brought it into the Apple Store, I think I brought it in before, like I said, before iOS 12 came out. But let's say I brought it in now with iOS 12 beta. I don't have that phone anymore, but let's say I did. Would I technically have been able to get a new replacement iPhone because they weren't able to run that diagnostic test? That is basically the question that I'm asking. I'm not necessarily saying like at that point I should have gotten it because I didn't even have iOS 12 on my device at the time. But let's say I brought it in now and let's say it did have water damage and it had that same screen problem. Would I have been able to get a free iPhone 10? That is a question I'm asking. So if your iPhone 10 is damaged and you upgraded to iOS 12, could you technically get a free replacement from Apple through iOS 12? Technically, yes, okay? But there's only like a 10% chance that'll happen. I mean, you have to follow pretty much what this person did. It was very busy. The person was 20 minutes late, the technician. I wouldn't really recommend you guys taking advantage of this. But honestly, it's up to Apple. It's their call. It's not like we have anything to do with what they say. Obviously, they do check if it's water damaged or anything like that. So if you try to bring in your phone that's water damaged, it won't work because I tried it. I didn't know it was water damaged, so that was the problem. So yeah, I mean, shout out to user Axod for this story. It was really cool. I do think it's true, but I don't necessarily think everyone's going to be able to try it. I don't think everybody's going to be able to succeed in this because you have to remember, on average, and about 90% of the, probably 95% of the time, they will downgrade your device to iOS 11 to a software that is compatible with the software that they use to calibrate whatever they need to calibrate. So I will leave a link to this story in the description below so you guys can go and check it out and upvote if you want to. But that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Whether you agree with the story, whether you think it's real, fake. I mean, I think it's real, obviously. Like, I don't think somebody would go and fake this amount of detail. I think it's real. Definitely hit that subscribe button. That'll mean so much. Really trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of this year. Hopefully it'll happen. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But check out the links in the description as well. My second channel, my Twitter, my Instagram, all that stuff is down there. I would really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.